Welcome to the first episode of Gridiron History. What am I doing? Well, simply I am going to play the history of the NFL one game at a time. Now it sounds like a daunting task, but it's not what it sounds like. Each season is 1 week. Once we get to 1920, I will be editing and using all the rosters. All the teams, 14 teams at the time. And you will see me control at least one game each. Meaning, week 1 would be if all 14 teams had their own games, which is impossible. Let's say week 1, the Canton Bulldogs are playing the Hammond Pros. I would use the Canton Bulldogs. Week 2, I'd have to use the Hammond Pros. When I got all the teams used, then week 3, I would take the time to edit up to 1921, so on and so forth. Now, there are 6 teams that... There are several teams that played in the APFA, or what would become the NFL, that predate the NFL. And there are 6 or 7 teams that I'm going to focus to get us up to the NFL. The very first one is the Arizona Cardinals, founded in 1898 by Chris O'Brien, known as the Morgan Athletic Club. For my research, I could only find in 1898 one player, Chris O'Brien. So what I've done is I created Chris O'Brien as the quarterback, and I'm only going to play offense. I did not change the ratings for any of the other players, for the Redskins, for the Cardinals, because it would just be basically downgrading them all to semi-pro level, both teams. So I'm just going to play with Chris O'Brien and as quarterback. I tried doing player lock, but it wouldn't let me do any editing for anybody else other than my own, not even my own players. So now obviously there was no passing in 1898, so I think I'm going to get out of coaching suggestions after that pass. Doesn't matter who we threw to. It's Chris O'Brien is the only focal point in week 1, and probably weeks 1 through 5. His brother Pat O'Brien joined in, as far as I can tell, 1899, so I'll make him the running back or something, and probably the first 5 weeks will just be me trying to feature why are we in no huddle. I did cut Josh Rosen just so I knew that O'Brien would be starting. Sack to the Future, we put a lot of work and a lot of detail into the other players, the semi-pro teams. However, for Gridiron History, I'm only focusing on who I'm focusing on, and that is the Morgan Athletic Club. Founded in 1898 by Chris O'Brien, and for the first year would be known as the Morgan Athletic Club. They played their games at Normal Field. I mean, the bottom line is to try to win the games I play, so obviously you'll see some passing, and realistically just getting us to the NFL and also, if you have ideas for sliders, I looked into some. There wasn't a lot of changes, it seems, with some of these guys. Well, he says. It's not really going to matter wins and losses. It's more about showing you the history of the league and talking about it. In 1898, O'Brien organized the Morgan Athletic Club. Eventually, he and his brother Pat play on the squad. He then changed the club's home games to the nearby Normal Field, prompting the new name of the Normals, and I will refer to them as such. Again, there's no players on the Cardinal defense that I could look up, so playing defense doesn't matter. Eventually, when we do get into the NFL, though, I will be playing both sides. I guess I could have made Chris safety and, played both ways because it's the way football is played there. But these first few games are realistically just to introduce you to what I'm doing, and of course, this really doesn't matter. I don't Wildcat and then not have O'Brien even touch the ball. This would be about the closest thing I come to playing modern rosters, so I'll tell you that. I don't have the option. Yeah. The good thing about doing one season a week is I can actually transfer this to the baseball game, where I was going to do 15 games and move up. One game, and then you move up. You get a chance to play with every player in a quicker process. I'm gonna have to throw. Oh, guys jump on and start complaining, well, if you're doing 1898, there's no passing. Yeah, well, we're doing 1898 roster player, I should say, but it's modern Madden, so. Modern rules. And yes, I did turn the announcers on for this league. I don't know why. I think for week 2 I will create, well, we'll be in 1899, so we'll have Pat. I don't know why I didn't put him in 1898 as well. I don't know. No real reason. Obviously with a change of each week, and I'll have to research and do roster edits and whatnot. Just going with the semi-pro levels that Sack the Future uses would also create for some very bad opponents. So letting everybody stay at normal levels kind of gives me a chance to work on my game too for those blast in the past games against John M. Which we should have one ready to go sometime next week. I've got a little bit of work left to do on the Rochester Jeffersons. And then Chris O'Brien is 2 for 2. Remember, all these other players with modern uniforms and modern looks are only that way because I could not find any research. If anybody gets on and wants to help and give me some research, I'd be more than willing to use it to make it a better experience.
Sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they? Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. The guys who can come out and make the tackles. That's what we just
said. Pass incomplete. So from 1898 to 1902, the Cardinals are the only team we're going to feature. So for the first 5 weeks, it'll just be the Cardinals. Then other teams, the Canton Bulldogs, the Dayton Triangles, the Buffalo All-Americans, Canton, Cardinals, Triangles, All-Americans, the Green Bay Packers come in 1919, and the Pottsville Maroons, although they started in 1920, so they actually start the same year as the NFL. They didn't join the NFL till 25, so no, I'm trailing. I didn't have anything to go on with O'Brien either for giving him stats, so I kind of made him just a basic generic player. I guess I ought to be trying to score, shouldn't I? And these early games of this are going to be riddled with inaccuracies, and but we'll do the best we can. 2nd and 8. Well, not as run heavy as I'd like. I think eventually we will get run heavy, but this one's good. And as we add more players, and so the ratings all around increase, more realistic for schemes and whatnot, but you know. When it comes to the playoffs, like, let's say we're able to start a season on 1920. Week 1 and 2 is 1920. 3 and 4 is 21, so on and so forth. You get through week 16, you're through 1928. Week 17 is 1929, but it's incomplete because you've only done half the teams. Well, I wouldn't do that because there's so much roster work in between, so 17 will actually be skipped like that, and the playoffs, I might just do simulations depending for the teams that are in it based on but we'll see how all that goes. And obviously I'd love feedback. If you like what you see, click subscribe. Thirteen rushes, 6 yards. Unbelievable.
Just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Here we go now.
Wonder if this works just as good as it did in the other one. Yep, it does. Huh.
Responsibility. Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right? Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, you have to slide quick and down. So you know he's got that ability to move. And the time to say he's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, he's able to pick up the first down. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? One of teams that will on the defense was that 5 straight runs. Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Well, there's one thing I could do to get more quarterback runs, is run out of the passing formations. Not like that. So Brian is sacked. And another missed field goal. Again, if you're just joining us, what this Gridiron history is about is following the history of the NFL. We only have one player to concentrate on in 1898 with the Morgan Athletic Club, who will become the Arizona Cardinals, and that is Chris O'Brien. So now, excuse me, I only made him a one-way player, although when I think about it, guys played two ways back then. I don't exactly even know what position he played. I don't know how tall or how heavy he was, so these first couple weeks are more or less just talking about what my goal here is. And that is to play one game at least with every roster in NFL history. And the 5 teams that I talked about earlier that are what's the word I'm looking for? Featured pre-NFL, and the Arizona Cardinals history is one of them. Now I kind of rushed this one out, and yes, I'm using modern Madden, so we're playing a modern game. I've tried to run it. I need to work on my running in Madden 19. I haven't played this game enough to say so. Plus, it's hard to feature Chris O'Brien as the quarterback when you're running Duke Johnson. David Johnson, sorry. O'Brien is now 5 of 8, 168 yards and a touchdown. Yes, I am going to work on my running. But when I'm trailing 24-10, the goal still, above all else, besides getting to use the players, the goal is to win. I mean, in theory, each team then when I have a full 32 team set would win 8 games apiece for me. I try, man. I love this sport, and it's taken a beating in the last couple of years, but you know, I try to honor the history of it, and although these early these early games aren't going to look very historical, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to put the effort that we put in the Sack the Future, because if I concentrated and put that kind of effort into, I'm putting it into Blast of the Past and Sack the Future. If I put it into semi-pro teams on this too, I just have no life. So although I am going to be putting in effort on the players that existed, you know, that's only Chris O'Brien at this point. I'll tell you what, not having my playbook though is definitely been a pain right in the ass. I need to make sure I get my own playbook out there next time. The Capricorn playbook, so that when I do have to resort to this kind of thing, I know where my plays are. Oh no! Hey, you know me. I'm more than willing to hold a conversation and. Are these Redskin uniforms not on Madden 18? There we go. These are the Lombardi Redskin uniforms, basically. Nope, they're not. So this was an addition. Well, that's good to know. Adding in for $18.99, adding Pat O'Brien too will eliminate this. I mean, playing the moment the game goes quicker, but having guys on offense and defense, and maybe I'll make them the kickers as well. Who knows? So it's really hard when you don't have the research in front of you. That was a single wing tee. Oh, wing tight. Okay. Let's see, we have all 3 timeouts left. Oh, we got it. It felt weird, like I didn't catch it. So basically, yeah, I did see the spear, but I didn't see a road uniform. I just kind of looked real quick to get some idea of what to use. I mean, obviously the Redskins weren't around until 1932, so. It's too boring. I guess I didn't have to fight for. Hey, look, the Chargers are leading the Chiefs by 1 point, kind of like last night. Passing is definitely easier in Madden 19. Running is a bit harder. Oh, we have an injury. Who cares? Substitute. It's not O'Brien. If it was O'Brien, I think I would cry because he's the only player on the team. Yeah, 17 rushes, 11 yards. The running, of course, it could be that the Cardinals are a very weak offensive line team too. Luckily, that wasn't intercepted. Third and 10. Well, that didn't go according to plan. O'Brien gets sacked by some futuristic player. So, anyways, I was going to say that basically for those first few seasons, while I don't have the roster research, it's almost like we just took Chris O'Brien out of 1898 and plopped him into modern NFL. Week 2 will be 1899, so there'll be a new name. Instead of the Morgan Athletic Club, it'll be the Racine Normals. And they'll be that for 2 years, and then they'll become the Cardinals in 1901. And they'll stay the Racine Cardinals until they join the NFL in 1920, or what will become the NFL. So let's see if I get the ball back. I doubt it. So, the 1898 Morgan Athletic Club comes away with a loss. Don't know when I'll be bringing you the 1899 game. Again, it'll only be the Racine Normals.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo.
And hopefully you'll do a little better than losing to a futuristic team wearing futuristic throwbacks.
I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
But yeah, that's the idea behind this, is to only get one game per season. So I'll go and I'll edit O'Brien, age him a year, and as he is 1898, he's only 17 years old. So no wonder he didn't win. Born October 23rd, 1881. So he founded a team when he was 17 years old. I'm almost 40 and I've never founded an NFL team. So anyway, if you liked it, click subscribe. Also check out Sack to the Future, Blast from the Past. My partners, Brian Feltz, who you saw commenting, John M., Phantom Fighter, and look at Phantom Fighter's work, Best Era Football. Until next time, I'm Vinny Vincent, and you're not.